Call to order this meeting of the Franklin Municipal Planning Commission for May the 26th, 2022. First by roll call agenda, Commissioner Allen,
Present.
Commissioner Franks,
Present.
Commissioner Harrison,
Present.
Commissioner McLemore,
Present.
Commissioner Mann,
Present.
Commissioner Orr,
Present.
Alderman Peterson,
Present.
and Commissioner Lindsay is present. Accommodations have been made to ensure that the public is able to participate in the meeting. The public may participate in the following ways: watch the meeting on Franklin TV or the City of Franklin website, watch the live stream through the City of Franklin Facebook and YouTube accounts, by emailing comments to planningintake@franklintn.gov to be provided in full to the commission and included in the minutes, but not read aloud in their entirety during the meeting. Email comments are accepted until 12 o'clock p.m., noon on the day before the meeting, where you may comment in person in the boardroom. Speakers are asked to fill out a speaker card prior to the meeting starting. Speakers may sit in the boardroom or wait in the lobby. So the first item is the approval of minutes from the April the 28th, 2022 Planning Commission meeting. Is there a motion for approval of the minutes?
Move for approval.
Second.
Is there a motion by Mr. Harrison? So we have a motion by Scott Harrison and a second by, was that Alma?
Yes.
And.
By Ann, I'm sorry, Ann. Are there any comments or questions, corrections to the minutes? Seeing none, by roll call vote. Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Franks?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison? Commissioner McLemore?
Aye.
Commissioner Mann?
Aye.
Commissioner Orr?
Aye.
Alderman Peterson?
Yes.
And Commissioner Lindsay votes aye as well. That motion carries. The minutes are approved. So the next item, citizen comments on items that are not on the agenda. And this is a time in our meeting when we have an opportunity for Franklin citizens to be heard on items that are not included on this agenda. As provided by law, the Franklin Municipal Planning Commission shall make no decisions or consideration of action of citizen comments except to refer the matter to the planning director for administrative consideration or to schedule the matter for Franklin Municipal Planning Commission consideration at a later date. So I think we do have some citizen comments, so if those citizens that would like to make comments, I have a comment card from Betsy Hester. Betsy, if you'd approach the lectern and just give us your name and address and make your comments.
Thank you. I'd like to thank all of the Planning Commission members, the associates who are staff members. Thank you for this opportunity. I am Betsy Hester. I live at 112 Valley Ridge Road in Franklin, Tennessee. I am not in the city itself, but I am in the urban growth boundary. I was here earlier. Thank you for the very excellent presentation on the Goose Creek area basin. I'm very concerned as a representative for this area about the proposed density. I realize this will not happen overnight. However, I do appreciate the planning and consideration. I do wish to address schools. Many people move to Williamson County because of our public school system. This has been a continuing process, and the City of Franklin and Williamson County, our school system, our county commission, we do need to work together and possibly make compromises. There was no land set aside naturally in the presentation I saw earlier for a school. This is probably a ridiculous thing to say, however, I must say it. Our schools are more and more and more expensive. Property values have gone way up. Building materials have gone way up. We need to have consideration on this matter. Currently, there is no room for any of these multifamily units, especially for our school students. Please, please, shall we work together and compromise as much as we can on our school system population? Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Ms. Esther, and thank you for your service as well. Are there any other citizen comments? Seeing none. Announcements. Amy, do you have an announcement?
I have an
Emily?
announcement.
Okay.
I want to introduce you all, if you haven't met her yet, to our new administrative assistant in the planning department. Her name is Cheryl Hebert, and she's sitting over there right by Amy, between Amy and Jimmy. We're very happy to have her. She comes to us with a lot of local government experience, and she's been a joy to work with so far, and I just want you all to be very welcoming of her, and please don't scare her away.
Thank you, Emily, and welcome, Cheryl. We look forward to having you support our work on the commission. Okay. Got my papers out.
Actually, I have one announcement too.
Yes.
For Sherry's birthday on Sunday. Happy birthday, Roger.
Thank you. Is it really? Look at you. We'll have to get together and celebrate. Okay. The next item on our agenda is a vote to place non-agenda items on the agenda. The non-agenda process by design is reserved for emergency instances. Non-agenda items shall be considered only upon the unanimous approval of all of the Franklin Municipal Planning Commission members. Are there any items to be placed on, non-agenda items proposed to place on the agenda? Seeing none, okay. The next item is consideration of the consent agenda. So tonight, the consent agenda would consist of items 3 through 5 and items 8 through 13 would be the items on the consent agenda. Does anyone wish to pull an item from the agenda?
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to announce under the advice of City Council, I'll be recusing myself from item 7.
Okay. Okay. So that shouldn't affect you on the consent agenda, so.
No, it's just,
So I see no request to pull an item, so is there a motion for approval of the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion for approval. And a second by Alma. Okay, by roll call vote, Commissioner Allen?
Aye.
Commissioner Franks?
Aye.
Commissioner Harrison?
Aye.
Commissioner McLemore?
Aye.
Commissioner Mann?
Aye.
Commissioner Orr?
Aye.
Alderman Peterson?
Aye.
And Commissioner Lindsay votes aye. That motion carries unanimously. Okay, item number 6. Consideration of Resolution 2022-28, a resolution amending the Madison PUD subdivision to extend the vested rights for the property located south of East McEwen Drive. Did you modify this for me and I didn't pick up on it? So as it was written, I think as it was published, East McEwen Drive and west of Carruthers Parkway. And Amy, you want to address that, please?
Yes, I do. So if you look at the title of this item, the description of the location of the Madison is incorrect. We unfortunately caught this mistake after the agenda was published, and so we're asking for the commission to defer this item so that we can properly notice it for the June 23rd Planning Commission meeting.
Okay. So, so it will be pulled for that reason, but it wasn't publicly noticed, and so if anybody from the public would like to speak to this item, I would recognize you at this point. Seeing none, do we need a motion to, okay, a motion to defer till the June meeting?
Move to defer to the June meeting.
So we have a motion by Commissioner Harrison,
Second.
and seconded by Commissioner Orr. By roll call vote, Commissioner Allen,
Aye.
Commissioner Franks, Commissioner Harrison,
Aye.
Commissioner McLemore,
Aye.
Commissioner Mann,
Aye.
Commissioner Orr,
Aye.
Alderman Peterson,
Aye.
and Commissioner Lindsey votes aye as well. That motion passes unanimously. Okay, item number 7. And Commissioner Harrison has indicated that he is recusing himself from this item. This is consideration of Resolution 2022-30, a resolution amending Wood Duck Court PUD subdivision to extend the vested rights for the property located east of Carruthers Parkway and south of Murfreesboro Road at 250 Rosa Helm Way, 2050 and 2051 Wood Duck Court. Staff presentation. Emily?
Good evening, Chair. So we have a very standard staff report provided to you in your materials that addresses this item and the implications that a new ordinance would have on it if vested rights were not extended. But after some information has come forward this week, and we've had more discussions with senior leadership and staff here at the city, staff is actually recommending that this item be deferred to the June 23rd meeting so that we can meet further with both the applicant and potential future owner of this property to discuss what future plans may entail and what commitments are being made in regards to original commitments that were made with the proposed plan as approved. And we just don't have enough information right now to really provide a well-founded staff recommendation to you with the more recent information we've received. So we are recommending deferral. If you have specific questions about the staff report that was provided to you and how the new ordinance would apply, Amy can go into that staff report in more detail. But since our recommendation is now deferral, we won't go into that level of detail unless you request it. It is my understanding that the applicant wishes to address the commission though tonight. So at the proper time, we'd invite him to do that.
Okay. Thank you, Emily. So it's time for a public comment. Does anyone from the public wish to speak to this item? If you would, please approach the lectern and give us your name and address and make your comment.
I'm William Weaver, 2068 Sunnyside Drive. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Community Housing Partnership. It just came to my attention that there would be a request to defer the item, which I'm fine with doing that, but I'm also open to answering any questions about the reasons behind that, because I was already planning to attend. We did go in last year. The intention of this project originally was for CHP to do affordable housing at that time, and a lot changed post-COVID that made it not feasible for CHP to continue with the project. So we did meet with the mayor and the city administrators as well last year to let them know that we would be, our intention as CHP as an organization would be to sell the property and to find another developer to replace us doing the project, maintaining the same name as Walker Place, and that there would still be an affordable housing component, which we have done. Nothing has changed since then. The intention is for them to do the same project with, my understanding, a minor addition, which would be a swimming pool, with less affordable housing than CHP intended to do there. And the project is, as we discussed at that time, under contract for that developer to do so with those promises for affordable housing within that contract, within the legal contract.
Okay. And does CHP represent the applicant still? The sale is not completed, so you're still the applicant?
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Are there any other comments on behalf of the applicant, or
Yeah, I mean, I'll be the buyer, so.
you're the potential buyer?
So I'm Brandon Plunkett. I'm at 2060 Old Hillsborough Road. I talked to Vernon today a little bit, and I guess his main issue is obviously the shift in affordability. Viability and construction, I think, for CHP has changed over the last year. The construction world is completely different and completely more expensive. We're sensitive to the affordability aspect. We would love to do all affordable. It's just not reasonable from a market standpoint. So we would like to take over. We've met with Shannon, the zoning administrator. We've met with codes. We've met with all the Franklin departments. We've actually turned loose all the architectural to complete the plans. The site plan was approved 3 years ago. We're not building anything different that was already approved. We're requesting an addition of a swimming pool. We're adding a nature trail and a dog park. That's really for the whole plan. As far as planning goes, that's the only change, which when we apply for permits, we'll request that change. We talked to Wayne. We wanted to do 12 affordable units. We agreed to do that. We've since added 3. So about 7% of the project will be affordable units for 30 years. I think that's kind of what is income restricted. I think we will fill a niche kind of between that 70s and 80s Liberty Pike. And for example, the Harper on Carruthers is $2,800 for a 2-bedroom. We're probably going to be 25% less than that. So I think we will still offer a good product. Franklin needs units. I know nobody likes apartments, but I do think this project still is positive for Franklin. Honestly, I think the vesting rights are up September 9th. We'll probably be starting construction September 15th. So this is more of a safety for us. We really didn't think, we're working with Greg Gamble, we really didn't think this would even be an issue until Vernon kind of alerted us that he feels like it's an issue. So we've extended the core permit that was up in March. We've got till next March basically to finish the site work. So we have to start in September. So our deferments start to kind of, impact this project. If we lose the core permit, it's likely CHP is going to be stuck with this property, and they're going to have to go back to the drawing board and start all over. Let's see, we've got site plan approval, adding a pool, so we're starting September. So I kind of want to give you a background of what we're doing. We're really not doing much to what you've already done. I think it was approved 3 or 4 years ago. It is an affordability change, the market changed. We're not a nonprofit, we are a for-profit, but we are sensitive to affordability. I grew up here, I live here, I see all the growth that you guys have seen, and I understand it's a huge need. So we're trying to do what we can while still being able to finance and develop this project. So I guess we'll defer, sit down with whoever, and hopefully we can get the vesting rights approved here in, I guess, next month. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. So is there a motion on this item then?
Move to defer to June 23rd.
We have a motion to defer to June the 23rd by Commissioner Orr and a second by Commissioner Allen. Are there any other questions on this item?
I have some questions.
Okay.
Mr. Weaver, could I speak to you about this? I'm
Yes,
a
sir.
little bit not very happy about this transition going from a for sale affordable units that we all put a lot of time in, blood, sweat, and tears with the Housing Commission, with community housing, Steve Murray, your predecessor, and the fact that this was always going to be something that Franklin needed more than anything, to come in here and put apartments because of an affordable, because of a financing contingency or we're building like crazy. There's money on the street available for this very same project that you and all of us approved. And we could have got the financing, not without having the pre-sales out there, but we could have probably got the financing, many of us could, to have built exactly what we all thought was the right thing to do for Franklin.
And
And to go back and put the apartments in there and do a bait and switch with our commission and our leaders in our community and our teachers and to put expensive apartments over there, all that's gonna do is appreciate in value, and they'll sell those apartments for $40 million after they've spent $20 million. It's just not right, and I've been wanting to talk to you about this, but, the applicant, I'm glad the builder's got the project under contract. Go on and get it going if you can meet the vesting deadline. But to do what has gone on right now is not reflective of what we intended to happen there. I didn't even get a chance, and many of our colleagues out there didn't get an RFP or anything from community housing to see what the options were to help secure financing. So money was cheap during that time. We could have started that building a year ago. And it's still relatively cheap today. I'm just confused about why we are going through a change that doesn't make any, that still doesn't add up.
I understand your confusion, and I serve on the Housing Commission with you, and I have built affordable housing in this community for 10 years with Habitat for Humanity.
Right.
And I've put my heart and blood
Yes.
wholeheartedly into
I
building
agree.
affordable housing here
Yes.
and abroad. I've traveled all over the world. This is something that I do not as a job, but something that I do from my heart because I love this community. I love the people that we serve, and I work arm in arm with them. And I'm very much personally the number one person that wants to see affordable housing because not in name, but in the people that it serves. And I know full well what it means to those families. So I promise you as I stand here, because I understand I realized that I would have those opinions when I came last year, which is why we did come and speak with the mayor and the city administrators. And I explained, because my heart is to put all of the affordable housing in the city that we possibly could stand, because I know we need it. We need it in rentals. We need it in for sale units, and I know that more than anyone. But at the same time, I took over an organization, and I'm happy. Our books are open to the public, and I have done this. I did this with people that approached me. That I said, let me walk through this with you. It was not viable. It was not possible. And I know that the belief is that it was. But at that point, post-COVID, it was not possible. So the best thing for the organization and for CHP to continue as a viable organization and continue to serve the homeless and the people that live in the boarding homes that we have and the rentals was to sell that and to put those funds into another project, which is the Hill Haven project, which we plan to do, was to move those funds forward, because for an organization of 5 employees at our size, post-COVID, it just was not
Okay.
possible.
Okay. We've got a motion and a proper motion and a
Thank
second
you.
on the table, so thank you, sir. Any other questions, discussion? By roll call vote, this is a motion to defer to June the 23rd. By roll call vote, Commissioner Allen,
Aye.
Commissioner Franks, Commissioner Harrison, is deferred, is abstaining. Commissioner McLemore,
Aye.
Commissioner Mann,
Aye.
Commissioner Orr,
Aye.
Alderman Peterson,
Aye.
and Commissioner Lindsay votes aye as well. That motion passes. Is there any other business before the Planning Commission tonight? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
We have a motion to adjourn
Second.
by Commissioner Orr and a second by Commissioner McLemore. By roll call vote, Commissioner Allen,
Aye.
Commissioner Franks, Commissioner Harrison,
Aye.
Commissioner McLemore, Commissioner Mann, Commissioner Orr,
Aye.
Alderman Peterson,
Yes.
and Commissioner Lindsay votes aye. That motion passes unanimously. We are adjourned.